we are diving into a topic that's sparking conversations across the country. Public CNG buses. Since their introduction, these eco-friendly buses promised a cleaner, more affordable way to travel. But the rollout hasn't been smooth everywhere. In fact, more facts are emerging on why compressed natural gas CNG buses are struggling in many states, over a year after the federal government announced the conversion policy. So now I want to hear from you. Have you used a CNG bus since their inception? Was it a game changer for your commute? Or are you still waiting for the promise to become a reality? Share your thoughts. You can call us on the numbers displayed on your screen, and you can also send WhatsApp messages displayed on your screen. Now, Hauwa, the federal government donated 4 hybrid CNG buses to FCTA yesterday. Now, the issue is, do we have enough refueling CNG infrastructure in Nigeria, in Abuja, or in Nigeria at large? Have you seen any refueling CNG fueling station around?
Well, I believe one of the issues that would be faced is there aren't a lot of CNG stations where they could refuel. But then according to the PCNGI, there are supposed to be 250 plus conversion, aside from conversion centers, there's supposed to be 40 plus refueling stations. And with 40 plus refueling stations in the whole of Nigeria, I don't believe it will be enough for, the buses that would be provided.
Well,
all
we'll
right.
have a caller.
Yes, let's take our first caller. Hello, good morning, and thank you for joining us this morning.
Good morning, Hauwa and Maryam.
Good morning.
What is your name and where are you calling from?
I'm Usman Santraki.
Good morning, Usman Santaraki. We're glad that you're calling us this morning, not sending a message.
You always send a message. Thank you for calling today.
Honestly, we just had a thing. Now, we do what I don't know that CNG buses. So I don't know. This was around last one. But I don't think it's going to be. But the local of us, they come and open a station. But they.
All right, Usman Santaraki, could you kindly call us back because you are barely audible. We cannot hear your thoughts, and your voice does matter. So make sure you do call us back so that we can hear you clearly and discern what you are saying. All right.
You're saying...
Yes, as earlier mentioned, with 40 plus refueling stations, I don't believe that would be enough for all the buses that should be provided to every state in Nigeria. All right, we have another caller. Let's take that. Hello, good morning, and thank you for joining us.
Good morning. Hello, good morning.
All right, I believe we lost that caller. Just a reminder as terms of engagement, please do switch off your television set when calling in so that we do not have any interference and we can hear you clearly as well. All right, to the next caller. Hello, good morning, and thank you for joining us.
Good morning, Hauwa. Good morning, Maryam. This is Shetima Yakudima calling from Maiduguri.
All right, good morning, Shetima. Thank you for joining us. How is Maiduguri this morning?
Maiduguri, alhamdulillah. Maiduguri is cool. Maiduguri is fine.
All right, go ahead. Let us know, have you seen these public CNG buses in Maiduguri?
Maiduguri, our honorable governor, Professor Babagana Omara Zulum, have provided these buses even before the federal government kick off. But let me first and foremost, I want to congratulate the Trust TV family for 4 years anniversary.
Thank you very much, Shetima.
We pray Trust TV will emerge to more than CNN in Africa continent.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Inshallah.
Thank you, Shetima. Go ahead.
That's our prayer.
Yeah.
About the buses, here in Maiduguri, our task goes to His Excellency, Professor Babagana Umar Zulum. He introduced these buses long time ago. These buses were in large number in Maiduguri in every junction where people are being conveyed to various destinations. And I can tell you categorically that where KK is taking 200 naira, that buses are taking people at the cost of 50 naira per drop. No matter where your distance is 50 naira they will collect. And in addition to that, our governor also added electric car, a small car containing three people at the back, one person at the front. Anywhere that you are going, they will drop you at the charges of just 100 naira per drop. So we highly recommended the effort of our governor, and that is why we are always calling for other governors to copy. What we are honestly, we don't have any transportation problem here in Maiduguri. Honestly, the KKs are overcharging people, but our governor come with a remedy. You can see they can drop you where people are taking 200 naira. They will drop you at the 50 naira cost, which is a remarkable effort by by our governor. So we are calling our governors on the various states to copy from what Professor was doing. The essence of being you in that seat is to provide a remedy whenever there is a hardship to your people, and to touch the people's life, towards a positive way, in whatever situation they find themselves. We really appreciate our governor, and we really thank him so much for doing that. And we hope and we pray all governors they will be like that, so that we can have a better Nigeria. Thank you so much, and have a nice day.
Thank you very much, Shatima, for that take of yours. He mentioned that CNG is significantly cheaper than the petrol and diesel we're used to in our vehicles.
Absolutely. And when you look at it, the most important thing is for the people to have a reduced, fare when it comes to their commute, when it comes to their transportation. All right, we have another caller on the line. Hello, good morning, and thank you for joining us.
Hello.
Yes, hello, good morning, and thank you for joining us.
Good morning, Hauwa. Good morning, Maryam. You are on to CNG from Lagos.
All right, good morning. So what is your take on this? Have you seen any CNG buses in Lagos, and are they functional?
I have to be honest with you, the road trip, I never witnessed any of the CNG buses in my environment, even though based in Kano. I used to work in Lagos, and from time to time I enjoy to go to the north, not only Kano. And like Shatima mentioned, even before the government pronouncement of the CNG, that is already mentioned in my inauguration, believe me, His Excellency Zulu has already done that. Due to my degree, and I even participate in the transportation issue, and then I really appreciate the effort of the governor, which I recommend each and every state governor. Look, policies should be at least in line with the state governors, and then also, in fact, when the federal government pronounce as something that can bring development in the society, as well we expect state governors at least to be in the same track with the state government, so that we cannot do alone. They cannot do alone, and that is the issue that Nigeria has no trust in the government policies. So honestly speaking, sometimes I ask myself, why not the government should open the policy of this mass transportation under this public-private partnership? We went to other countries, we saw what is going on there, and also our policymakers travel a lot more than we that we travel. And they witness the kind of the railways, transportation, the freeways, the mass transportation, and so on and so forth. Why can't we emulate the same steps at least? At least. This is an area, in fact, we can't do without transportation, whether you like it or not. We can't do without transportation. The expectation is even before the fuel subsidy removal, there should have been a proper plan on ground, at least. Not after when you remove them, you begin to start how you're going to strategize mass transportation and so on and so forth. It doesn't work that way. I think the government should be very serious in this issue. What do the northern states? Believe me, ask anybody from the 19 northern states, if not Abuja, even the Abuja, you are in Abuja now, you witness everything. So it's like the government are not serious in this mass transport assistance issue. So that's why I said it should be open for public-private partners, at least, so that something will be, at least, I don't know, sometimes I ask myself, our policymakers, are they for real? We have experts in each and every one. We have professionals. They pay money, big money for consultations. So what is all this? To me, ever since this CNG Inception, I never witnessed a single one. Even in Lagos here, I never see a single one. So I think the government should be serious in assisting its people at least, because the hardship, look at the hardship, look at the situation. All these things rely on transportation and the fuel issue and so on and so forth. Can we always remain in this present predicament? So they should involve public-private partners at least. Maybe we can patch the cracking wall. Thank you very much. I remain SMB from Lagos.
All right, thank you so much for that contribution. You know, Maryam, according to reports, if this is implemented properly and, efficiently, the CNG buses or transportation, even if it is a private automobile that you convert, is supposed to slash your fuel bill, because at least it should help you save at least 60%, on refueling costs, as well as having a cleaner alternative when it comes to the environment, which is very, very important. Would be less emission and lower carbon and nitrogen oxide, contributing, to air quality as well. And aside from that, according to reports, it should be a safer option, because when it dissipates, when it leaks, it dissipates quickly. So there is a less chance of having explosions as well, which that in itself is another good thing. But then at the end of the day, when you look at it, and it was initiated, as you mentioned, since 2023, right?
Yeah.
And it still has not been in full force so far. We have just a few states that have, started and are functional as well. We've heard from Shatima in Maiduguri. Here in Abuja, they just commissioned a couple. Kaduna has been said to have started using those as well. And Enugu, I believe Governor Umba has commissioned, 100 buses so far. And aside from that, the key thing here is to have refueling stations that could be used in making sure that the CNG is readily available to those that are in need. And I believe, according to reports, there are just 2 stations here in Abuja.
There seem to be a private owned in around area 11 also. So private owners have started utilizing that opportunities. One thing about the Nigerian in regulating business mismanagement, we do not manage things efficiently. Like you said, if this is really managed well and is executed well, it's a very good alternative for subsidy removal, and once we have that good alternative, the economic hardship will lessen.
Exactly. Especially when it comes to transportation, that is something that's a huge burden in a lot of people's pockets, as well as public transportation, because a lot of people use public transportation. They have to convey themselves from one place to another, and it is something of an everyday thing. So when it comes to reducing that expense, for example, having to use a tricycle, which is a keke, and it will cost you you from going from probably 200 naira going from point A to point B, and then having to use the buses, and that would slash a lot from it, maybe paying 15 naira. When last did you hear transportation fare is 15 naira? Absolutely. So with that, I believe if it is really implemented as it is meant to be, that would help in itself. And aside from that, there are other opportunities that could come in, as you said, economically, when it comes to creating jobs as well. When people are recruited and trained as technicians as well, that in itself would open up another job market for them as well. So aside from that, diving into, the private sector and making sure that there are ample conversion centers, in making sure other vehicles aside from those buses, private vehicles as well, convert to that in itself will help a lot of people in reducing that cost of living, don't you think?
Yeah. One thing I know, everything in especially education in Nigeria has pros and cons, but in this aspect the advantages are much more than the disadvantages, because aside the limited refueling infrastructure, and most people now are converting their vehicles to CNG because they feel, yes, many people based on research says it's cheaper, like we said, and the engines are very easier to maintain. It requires less and frequent servicing and repairs, and the less pollution, like you said. You mentioned that earlier. Then aside that, there's just like 2 to 3 disadvantages over more than 5 advantages. So the problem, like I mentioned earlier, is how do we manage it efficiently?
Absolutely.
And it requires a lot of investment to bring in CNG buses. The terminals are already there in Mabushi.
Well, according to the PCNGI, the investments that have been mobilized are up to $500 million. So you would see that is a lot, of money. That's a lot of money to put in. As the discussion continues, we are still on public CNG buses. Have you used one since the inception? Please make sure you do call us in on the numbers displayed on your screen. Let us hear from you. Let us hear if it is already functional or where you are. Let us know if you've even used it and how was the experience so far. So with this, the absolute kicker for me, to be honest, is it being eco-friendly. Vehicles that use diesel, vehicles that use PMS, that is petrol, usually have a really toxic emission, and with this being very, very eco-friendly, it will be very environmentally safe for people to use as well.
I'd like to talk about the aftermath. What if you just mentioned that the huge amount that's been put in for the acquiring these buses?
Absolutely.
What if they come? After they come, how is the management going to be? How are we supposed to manage these vehicles?
Yeah, absolutely. So
that's one huge problem in Nigeria, mismanagement.
So that is why there needs to be a lot of technicians trained, so that there are a lot of people that know what they can do. And aside from that, there are stations that those buses could be serviced, especially, as I mentioned, the conversion centers could still act as a station that they can go, and those vehicles could be serviced as well. That in itself is a lot of work to be done, a lot of planning to be done, and a lot of proper management needs to be put in place for it to be functional. Let it not be another abandoned project, right? As
usual,
All right. So make sure you do call us in so that we can hear from you, and send us a WhatsApp message as well. Your voice matters. We'd like to hear from you, like to know what is going on around you. Let us know if it is functional. All right, so Maryam, when it comes to, all right, we have another caller on the line. Hello, good morning, and thank you for joining us.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So what is your name and where are you calling from?
I'm Maxwell. I'm calling from Gombe.
All right, good morning. So tell us, do you see these buses in Gombe State? And have you used any?
We have not seen it. We have not seen it.
Oh, wow.
All right.
So what's your take on the topic today? Do you think it's a good thing, or what are the pros and cons? There's advantages and disadvantages of the federal government bringing in CNG buses to ease transportation. Oh, we lost the caller.
All right, we lost the caller. Please do make sure you call us back so that we can hear your thoughts. Your voices are important. All right, when it comes to, there are lots of states that have...
not seen these buses.
Absolutely. And due to the lack of refueling stations, that in itself would be hard for those buses to function in those states.
Exactly. Where do they refuel the gas, the CNG gas if it's finished? So all these things we have to check in consideration. Like in Gombe State now, the caller that we just lost said he hasn't seen them before.
Absolutely.
So what if somebody, a resident of, we have a caller. Hello, good morning.
Oh, good morning. Yes, good morning. How are you?
We're doing fine, thank you. Yes, thank you for joining us. What is your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Kabir Ahmed. I'm calling from Niger State, Mina.
All right,
Okay,
good morning, Kabir. Thank you for joining us. What is your take on this matter? Have you seen any CNG buses?
CNG buses, it's a good initiative by the federal government to establish such kind of services here in Nigeria. But unfortunately, from Niger State, we've not seen any bus. Rather, we've been seeing private cars that have been going to Abuja to convert theirs from petrol to CNG. And secondly, the issue of gas refilling stations. I think the only one I know of is the one along Kaduna Road and the one in Abuja. That's just it. So I don't know if the federal government can step up and do the needful, because it is very, very economical and eco-friendly. So it will be a very good plus to we Nigerians, as the removal of this subsidy has really caused us a serious problem in the country right now. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much for that. As we mentioned earlier, I believe the issue that would be the biggest issue, I would say, is not having enough, refueling station when it comes to CNG, as well as not having a lot of conversion stations as well, and working on technicians as well. All right, let us look at I believe we have another caller on the line. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Hauwa. It's Shetima Yakudima back again.
All right, thank you for calling us back.
Thank you for calling back.
Go ahead.
Thank you. You see, honestly speaking, it is seen that these voices are in existence maybe only in Abuja and some few states. So, honestly speaking, something needs to be done by the federal government, because this is promise that you make to the people, which you have to fulfill it. That is the essence of being in the power. When you are in the seat of administration, whatever you alter, it has become binding, it has become law. So you have to respect your promises. If you make a promises to the people, you have to do it no matter what, whether it will be good to you or bad to you. But you have to do it. Because when government make a statement, people, they will be hoping that they will see that statement in practical aspects, and which if you do not do, it will reduce the image of that government. So we are advising them to do whatsoever they can to make sure that these voices, they have gone round. They have gone round. They let them be in the set of all cities, in the street of all cities. That will boost their respect and their image. Because by the time you make a promise to the people and you do not make it, how do you think people they will see you? You see, it's very, very unfortunate. You have to do something quickly. As I said earlier, we in Maiduguri, is from the even without that pronunciation from the federal government, we are enjoying that smart. We have a company called Borno Express, where Borno have 5 buses and they have put them into a town services. and which we are enjoying it. Honestly speaking, we are enjoying it. So we are expecting for all governors. If federal government did not disburse that bus, you try and buy the buses. Try and buy the buses. It will help people. You know, movement is making the economy vibrant. It is making the economy to move. But by the time you leave people stagnant, staying in one place, nothing will go on. So we are calling for them to please, they should try and assist these masses. Because nowadays, if you leave the movement of the state in the hands of KK, people, they will be suffering. So people, they need government assistance in this respect of movement from here to here. And now you can agree with me, some workers, they cannot able to reach their office on 5 days working days. Five days of working days. Some they go to the office 2 days, some they go to the office 3 days, instead of that 5 days. We are hearing the story on the in respect of the other states. So I think governments, they have to wake up. They have to wake up and do something to provide a solution to this problem. Thank you so much and have a nice day.
All right, thank you very much, Tima, for calling back again.
Yeah.
All right. Come to think of it, Maryam, if these buses are being utilized, for example, interstate-wise, from state to state for them to commute, that in itself will help and reduce, the prices of fares.
Honestly, it's going to ease transportation costs.
All right, we have another caller. Hello, good morning, and thank you for joining us. All right, we lost that call. Let us move on to the WhatsApp messages that we have this morning. The first WhatsApp message is from Abdul Rahman Amin. He says, good morning, Trust TV. The rollout of public CNG buses in Nigeria has shown both promise and areas for improvement. In places like Abuja, where they are operational, these buses have helped reduce transport fares by up to half, providing commuters with a cleaner and cheaper alternative to petrol and offering some relief from the rising cost of living. Drivers using CNG have reported saving thousands of naira each month, proving the idea can work. But the truth is, the impact is still too small for a national policy. Many states have yet to see a single CNG bus, and in areas where they exist, there are not enough refueling stations. This forces drivers to travel long distances or wait hours just to refill. Public awareness is also low, so the buses are still seen as special projects instead of everyday transport. For individuals who have converted their cars to CNG, the struggle is even worse. With so few refueling stations, some must drive over 200 kilometers just to get gas, wiping out the savings and discouraging others from switching. Citizens are still expecting more than scattered launches. They want a consistent service across all states, enough buses to actually meet demand, and proper infrastructure so that using CNG, whether in public buses or private cars, is as easy as using petrol. If the government is serious about this policy, it must move beyond photo ops and ensure CNG is not just in the news, but on the streets where Nigerians can truly benefit. God bless Nigeria. Thank you so much, Abdurrahman. All right, next up, we have a message from Nandi Bete. Maryam, take it away.
Yeah, and a message from Nandi Bete from Ogoja says, on this CNG buses matter, apart from what is shown on television, I'm sure most Nigerians, including my humble self, have not physically seen, not to talk of using a CNG bus. For now, it is clear that the buses are still operating within Abuja and the state capitals. Let us hope that with time, even with a terrible condition of roads nationwide, the CNG buses will get to the masses in all nooks and corners of the country.
All right, I believe...
then another one...
All right, we have another message from Osman Tantarakibeti Jameta. He sent back a message, says, Hauwa, in continuation of my discussion via the phone that is not audible at your end. What I am saying is that in Yola, we are yet to see the CNG buses as announced by the federal government almost 1 year ago. As such, the people in Adamawa State have not tested the buses. But CNG station was open for those who transform their vehicles from fuel to the compressed natural gas. Thank you and remain blessed. Thank you very much, Usman Santuraki.
Then another message says, hello Trust TV, my trusted brand for news, current affairs and documentary. CNG bus here in Mina is a huge political joke. Thieves are vandalizing the already purchased buses because practically there is no means to power it. Sadly, he didn't write his name, but according to what he wrote, he is writing from Mina. He wrote from Mina.
All right, we have another caller on the line. Hello, good morning, and thank you for joining us.
Good morning.
Yes, good morning. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
My name is Daniel.
Good morning, Daniel. Thank you for joining us. What is your take on this matter?
Yes, CNG buses issue, to me, I look at it as if the government is not doing enough on the pilot study. Why I call it pilot study? Because I think they want to look at it in a way that whether it is acceptable or it will not. So, with what is happening, the measure we take in doing the pilot study is very weak. At least each state will have not less than 50 or 30. So not less than 50 or 30. So that it can be effective across the 16 local governments. For some of us which have mind maybe to use it, we will look at the fuel consumption, we'll do the comparison between petrol, diesel, and even I don't know what they put in the EBS, so that to power it. So there is need for them to supply those buses or those machines to all the local governments to do some comparison between the CNG buses and other machines available for people to know which one is preferable. That is where the government will know that yes, this is, from the feedback of the people, know that yes, this is actually acceptable. But just putting it alone in cities like Lagos, Abuja, Kaduna, Maiduguri, is not the best. Because even them that are in Abuja, somebody in Abuja that is about, maybe you want to travel for vacation, let me use my state, Taraba, that if there is not even road, and is having CNG car, there is no CNG station in Jalingo or any part of Taraba that, assuming when that is finished, you can be able to refill. So I think there is, with the measures that you mentioned the other time that they will produce, they will now station CNG stations, refilling stations in 6 geopolitical zones, and even workshops to train people. All those things are trials. I'm looking at them as pilot study, but they are not measures put in place to do it proper. So they should bring in a welcome development, quite sure. That is how they eradicate all these Okada boys off the street and bring in Keke Napep. I remember when my former governor, late pharmacist Amba Abasote, initiated Keke Napep. I think in the north, probably or in the north, he was the first governor to ban Okada riders by bringing in 100 plus Keke Napep in Jalingo. People look at the initiative as a bad thing, but now the whole northern states have adopted that measures. All these Okada boys are off the street, accidents have reduced. So I think the same measures should be done on CNG buses. The federal government should do the needful and supply the state governors or the states with CNG buses so that they should share across the local government based on the population of the people. If it is 2 or 3, so that we can be able to do the comparison. And if they cannot do that, they should bring in the buses at the subsidiaries. Some of us can be able to buy and test even privately, so that we will know how to handle the entire thing. So I think that is my own take this morning. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much, Daniel, for that. And I believe that's all we have on this segment. Thank you very much for all that called in and all your WhatsApp messages. As always, your voice does matter. Right. All right. We have more room, so we'll continue on the phone-in segment. All right. We have another caller. Hello. Good morning, and thank you for joining us.
Good morning.
Yes.
Good morning.
Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
My name is Simon from Kano.
All right, thank you for calling in. What is your take on this matter?
This matter is a good development, but we have not seen the buses in Kano.
Okay.
We have not seen the buses in Kano. Up to now.
So what is your take on CNG buses? Do you think it will help in reducing, the cost of transportation?
It's a relief. It's a relief to the masses because the way the Supreme Court are charging people now is too much. So we have seen the motor in Kano to be a very good development.
All right, thank you very much for that.
Hauwa, they should, from what from the messages and the previous calls, there should be lots of public awareness, enlightenment to the general public on how to go about converting the cars from the fuel to the CNG.
Converting the cars safely.
Exactly. I am coming to that. There are concerns again. Some people know how to do it, but they are concerned. One of the concerns is safety. But before we continue, we have a caller.
All right.
Hello.
Yeah, Maryam, Hauwa, SMB is back again from Lagos.
All right. Thank you for calling back.
You see, honestly speaking, this matter transport is a very, very important aspect which I expect the federal government, so also the state government should at least be on the same ground. At least it will back up it will support more of the public than what we are seeing on ground. And remember, in so many instances, Mr. President himself, like court, he made mention, I asked for the work, don't teach me. He said so several times, I asked for the work, don't teach me. And in so many instances, we have him telling his minister that we have no room for excuses. Let us deliver. So I think it's high time the Ministry of Information to speak at least, like previous scholars mentioned, awareness. It's quite important. So even if you do the awareness without the proper plan and brand, what do you expect? That's why I think it's high time for the government to do the report and also to involve the public-private partners in this aspect of transportation. In the developed world, there is no how government only go on a business issue. Government is not for business. Government is for establishing enabling environment at least. So I think it's high time the ministry to sit together with the public-private partners who have interest in investing in that at this transportation and will maybe, like I mentioned earlier, we can patch the cracks in the wall. Government cannot do it alone. They agree. But there should be a proper plan, at least an open door policy where everybody can come and invest at least regarding the health of people and conditions that the government will put in place. That will serve the purpose. Thank you very much. To remain SND from Lagos.
All right, thank you very much for that. Maryam, you were saying?
Yeah, aside the enlightenment, aside the lack of public awareness, there are lots of concerns, like I said, about the whole CNG gas in vehicles, because lots of people, should I say misinformation, lots of people actually think it's not safe. We've seen, especially in the Hamatan period, we've seen cars on the street exploding, and you hear like people around saying it's because it's carrying a CNG gas and that's why it's exploded.
And
so we need lots of enlightenment.
Absolutely.
And an average Nigerian thinks that way.
Sorry to cut you short. A lot of people have a misconception or a confusion when it comes to CNG and LNG. There is compressed natural gas, and then there's liquefied natural gas, and they're two different things. And obviously the liquefied natural gas is more susceptible to explosions and is very explosive as well. So, and then you know that at a point there were lots of people that were converting their, for example, generators as well, and cars as well to the gas, which is the LNG, and that in itself is very dangerous. Yeah. All right, we have another caller on the line. Hello, good morning, and thank you for joining us. All right, we lost our call.